Hey everybody! Welcome to your recap for the Hoop Connection Section 2. We went over fancy folds this week, and so I'm going to go over some of the things that we learned. So we started with the hoop in the hand, and then we flipped it all the way back so that it balances on the forearm. And we called this one airplane because our arm is fully extended. Then we flipped the hoop all the way back. Here we have a chicken grip because of the chicken wing. So going back and forth between the two and trying to make a circle the size of your hoop with your arm so that you're isolating from the middle point of the hoop, if that makes sense. And then we tried a couple different jump throughs. So the first one is the chicken wing jump through. Find your wing, bring the hoop out to the side, hold it in front of you, jump through, open, and then we find ourselves in this nice chest roll position. Same idea, different outcome is finding yourself all the way in your airplane grip. Fold forward, jump through, pull it up. There's a point where you get kind of stuck here, and you're going to let the hoop pop out behind you, and then you'll find yourself right back in your chicken airplane folds. So kind of infinite potential here if you play with it. There's a lot of different ways you can bring the hoop on and off your body. One way that we did it here was we found our airplane, and then we could do what's called a reverse escalator. So my opposite hand is down and ready to catch the hoop. I use the momentum of folding the hoop and bringing my hand to my ear to release the hoop and let it travel down my body, like so. And then I always pull my leg out just because it reminds me to keep the hoop far away so I can spiral it back up. So from here we escalator back up by bringing the hand all the way across the body, and then the hoop comes up over our heads. So you can choose to catch the top of the hoop that's over your head, or you can choose to catch it down here at your waist at the bottom. But you're going to catch it with a really loose grip so that the top of the hoop can clear the top of your head. Like so, and then I'm back in my airplane chicken grips. So I could airplane, escalate down, escalate up, catch it in an airplane again, and this can be a continuous escalator. Something to work on. And the next thing that we focused on were these awesome crossers, where we cut the air in front of us into 4 sections. So we have all the way across here, up and down, uncross, up and down, cross. This makes some really cool tracers if you have an LED hoop. And once your arms are crossed, you can flip the hoop up so it's on your body. This creates a really pretty illusion. You can even take it into one hand, put it on your waist. Or from cross, you can also jump into it. So really fun to play with. And then we worked on just this around the world pass where our fingers point down and we're passing the hoop in front of us and behind us. Thumbs together in front and pinkies together in the back. And then we also did a helicopter. So this helicopter always passes with your pinkies pointing up. It's opposite. So fingers point up, and I'm going to bring the hoop, hand points down, hand points up, switch hands, hand points down, hand points up. So continuing with that, and if you circle in the direction of your hoop, that's always going to help keep it level. And we can go back and forth between this helicopter and this around the world pass. Then when we go to bring the hoop over our head, we have a couple ways we can do it. As it's coming around the front of your body, instead of switching hands, you can open your hand as you bring it over your head, and it's going to roll over your thumb and fingers into opening. Or you can add a spin right here. Spins over your head, and for that one, you're going to take the hoop in your hand, point your thumb down, and then point it up. And that's how you get that nice spin. And with that being said, that same spin, you can take it into a really nice one-handed schmear. I'll break it down a little bit after this, but just want to show you what that looks like. Instead of flipping up, you flip it back behind you, quarter isolate, flip the hoop, quarter isolate, flip the hoop. And this schmear is something that we learned in our first class, so let's try it with 2 hands. This is called a schmear because it smears around your body. So you've got one hand on each side inside the hoop, and then you're pressing it against your stomach. One hand lifts as the other comes down, and then as soon as you get stuck, there's only one way you can move your hoop. So you're going to flip it behind you, switch hands, the other one rises, the other one falls. Again, I'm kind of stuck, there's only one way I can go, flip, hands rise, flip, switch hands, flip, switch hands. So that's called the schmear, and once you feel pretty comfortable with it, you can try it with one hand. It's a little bit trickier, but same concept. The hand kind of switches directions when you turn. So that covers a lot of those things. Let me just check my notes really quick. Oh yeah, the next thing that we worked on were hand spins. So we started out with a coin flip, and this coin flip, you start with your fingers pointing in, the hoop is in front of you. You're going to bring it to 6 or 9 o'clock. As you go from 9 to 12, your fingers will point in front of you. And then as you go from 12 to 6, your fingers will point to the back. So we go half circle, hand points front, hand points back. Half circle, hand points front, hand points back. And eventually you can get that spin going really fast. It's a nice way to add a fun dynamic to your flow, and that's not too hard on your body. You can also try it with 2 hoops if you're feeling crazy. You'll just want to kind of do split time, so one and then the other. And then using that concept, we tried our hand spins. Same idea. So with the hoop in your hand, you're going to open your hand, and you're going to let the hoop roll over your thumb and then re-grip it. So this is your most basic hand spin, which is going to turn into, say, this one-handed helicopter, or it might turn into a palm spin. And so if you want to work on your palm spin, you're going to use a little bit of momentum to get the hoop up, and then when the hoop goes up in the air, you're going to open your hand and slide your fingers under it like so. So here to there. The next step is that you're going to add a spin to it. So get your hands under, and you're going to use your fingers and your thumb to twist the hoop, I guess, towards you. And then you're going to open your hand and just see how many, it might just be a half spin at first, and the more you practice, the more spins you can get in. This is just a fun thing to doodle around with. And then we worked on isolations with folds. So your regular isolation is where you're tracing, the hoop stays in the same place while your hand traces along the outside, and the catch is the trickiest part. So make sure that you are releasing, your hand will lift slightly, and then we added fold. So say I go here, I'm going to fold the hoop in half, so I'm going to pop this side forward, and my hand is going to replace where the hoop was over there. So you can fold back and forth that way. You can fold up and down, so from the bottom, pop forward, replace the top, pop out, replace the bottom. You can cut your hoop in a lot of fun ways. Adds a nice dynamic to your flow. And then we also learned forward weave, so taking the hoop at your side with your hand pointing up. Draw the hoop up behind you, and as it crosses your body, it's going to come to the other side. Cross again, so you're making this figure 8 here. And I like this move because you can transition out of it anytime your arm is on the way over to its original side. You could just open your hand, turn towards your hoop, and now you have it going around your hand. Or you could transition from that into an isolation. So as it's crossing back to the main side of your body, just go ahead and follow it with your hand. And yeah, I think that covers most of it. If you guys have any questions, please comment or message me. I am happy to help you out. And yeah, thank you so much. I had so much fun with you this week, and I am excited to see you soon. Bye now.